Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotze Ben and Friends where we read and watch the inspirations behind Ace Attorney. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And two good friends of ours, Tiago.
Yo.
And Rose.
Hi.
We're all longtime fans of Ace Attorney. We hope that through our perspectives, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for all the media we discuss. Our intro music is by Lace, and you can find all her other work at leiss.bandcamp.com. Today, we are discussing the Portopia Serial Murder Case, the 1983 adventure game that was originally released on the NEC PC 6001 home computer in Japan.
Woo!
And then it was ported to other PCs of the time, like the MSX, and then eventually it got ported to the Famicom. And that's the version we played today because that is the only version that has ever been fan-translated.
Woo!
Woohoo!
The original home computer versions had a text parser, but the Famicom version has instead somewhat slightly complicated, but once you get your head around it, menus that lets you interact with the world instead. Before I get into the rest of the history lesson here around this game, was anybody here aware of Portopia before I brought it up?
No.
Last episode.
No.
I was not, no. And then we talked to a friend of the show, Iro, and he was like, well, yeah, of course. And I was like, well, I I did not know about it. I definitely feel like a lot of my video game history knowledge is a bit lacking, but that's not my fault. I forgive my family for not letting me play video games as a child. They've got better.
Don't feel too bad about it because Portopia is still fairly unknown in the States, in Western games media. I mean, it's not that it's unknown. Now many articles
it's
have
just
been
mostly unknown.
Yeah, it's many articles have been written about it by people who have dug into the history of it and tried to explain it for Western audiences who weren't there at the time, right? But it is probably one of the most influential games of all time that has never officially come out in English, right? It was created by Yuji Horii, aka the creator of Dragon Quest.
Woo!
So
the only way anybody in the West would have ever learned anything about it.
I mean, he first was basically tooling around. He got one of his home computers and started messing around with modifying games and starting to try writing his own games and his own code. He made a tennis game called Love Match Tennis that he submitted to a company called Enix in a contest in a magazine.
Mm-hmm.
That was accepted and then published. And then his second ever game that he submitted was the Portopia Serial Murder Case. Portopia was then released by Enix. It was their second ever game release. Their first was Door, which they co-developed with Chunsoft. Chunsoft, some of these names may sound kind of familiar. Enix, they eventually merged with a company called Square, right?
What?
Yeah, and Chunsoft is still around in many forms today. But yes, Door was co-developed, like I said, with Chunsoft with Koichi Nakamura. Nakamura then helped out with the NES port of Portopia. And then the two of them, he and Horii, collaborated to create Dragon Quest. So there was a lot of it was kind of scrappy. It was kind of, just people building code and games on their computers at home and then sending it off to a company in a magazine, being hey, here's my thing. I think it's cool. And the company going, yeah, that actually is kind of cool. We'll buy that and publish that. And you want to come work for us eventually?
Back when you could just shake someone's hand and get a job.
It was the Wild West of games. It was a really, really crazy time.
You know what's crazy is that whenever I think about that specific time and like the career space sphere, I am always reminded of the fact that like you could just be a drifter and just walk around and like fucking go to a random town that you've never been to before and be like, hey, can I work here and also live here? And then the guy was probably like, well, if you're working, then yeah, sure. Yeah. Nowadays, you can't fucking do that shit because you got fucking online footprint and everything. Damn. Society ruined drifters for us.
Yeah, you can't be a fucking drifter anymore because you gotta have a fucking LinkedIn.
Oh, God!
Content warning.
But LinkedIn. Yeah, like...
Content warning LinkedIn.
I'm not gonna, like, go super, like, in-depth into the history. There's lots of other, like, blogs and articles out there that have gone into that, but I just wanted to give at least, like, a surface-level coverage of this. Because, like, you know, Nakamura, like... had a storied career after this. You know, he did things like 428 Shibuya Scramble with director Jiro Ishii and lots of other games. And, you know, obviously Yuji Horii.
Notable game that I've never heard of before either.
And Yuji Horii did, obviously, Dragon Quest and plenty of other work, you know, and has had a long storied career of his own. But, yeah, Portopia was kind of like, it really blew up then when it came out on the NES. Portopia also, I say NES because that's my colloquialism. You know, that's what it is in my brain. But of course, again, to be clear, Famicom. Portopia has the first instance, as far as I can tell. I did a bunch of research on this, and I saw several people claim this. I tried to double check it as much as possible, so I'm hoping I'm not pulling a podcaster, you know, error here, but
you put more really disclaimers on all this.
It really does seem to be the first instance of point and click gameplay when you use the magnifying glass. This came out 1 year. This came out 1 year before the normal two games that are cited as the first ever point and click games, which are King's Quest and Enchanted Scepters. Those are usually the ones that people... I
do know about King's Quest.
Yeah, normally those are the ones that people say those are like the first point-and-click games. They say one of those two. But Portopia came out a whole year before, and that magnifying glass that you pull out that's point-and-click. So a lot of people have argued that is technically the first point-and-click as well. It's not all the gameplay, right? You are usually navigating through menus, but when you select magnifying glass and start investigating... That's what it is, and you're pointing around this graphical interface and choosing what you want to interact with and investigate. Portopia was very, very, very influential. Such game developers as Hideo Kojima and Eiji Aonuma have listed it as like one of their favorite games of all time. It was Aonuma said it was the second game he ever played. His first game being Dragon Quest 1. And that was like what made him go, oh wow, this is like really interesting what games can do. Kojima has said that Portopia opened up his eyes to the types of stories that games could tell. And obviously Kojima then went on to make his own adventure games, like Snatcher, which are very, very inspired by Portopia as well. Horii made 3 mystery games. Portopia was the first. They made a second one called the Hokkaido Serial Murder Case, the Otosuke Disappearance, which that one actually did get remade and then released in English on the Switch. So that one can actually be played in English, but only the remade version, not the original. And then the third game, Karuizawa Yukai Anai, has not. But that's probably because that one has some slightly like more erotic themes going on there. You've got a little bit more shoulder showing in that one, and it's also about women being. It's also about women being kidnapped and that kind of stuff. So you know, it's a little more salacious in that way. Does anybody here know that Portopia is a real thing?
What do you mean, like the place?
Portopia was this Portopia in this game is referencing the real event of Portopia 81, which was a World Expo held in Japan. They had an artificial island called Port Island in Kobe in Japan in 1981, and they had like a little World's Fair event. It wasn't really a World's Fair, is my understanding. It was much smaller than a typical World's Fair, but it was like a regional, expo. And that was like kind of like a big thing there in Kobe because they had this artificial island that they built for it. And in Portopia, that's, you don't even see it really in the game. You just get like the Ferris wheel in the background in one scene and you have the boat going across the bay. So that's kind of it. But if you had played this game when it came out, you would have gone like, oh yeah, there was, 2 years ago, there was that Portopia expo. It's kind of set around that time.
So
did
because
somebody
we
get
were
murdered there?
Not to my knowledge.
Bummer.
So because we don't have that context, we assume Portopia is just like a place that exists,
right? But
that's like
but
what
yes,
I would name like a city you go to in a D&D adventure I was running.
Yeah, I mean, like
would
the
it be
equivalent.
a port town?
Yeah, the like equivalent now would be like if you called it like, I don't know, the World's Fair, murders or whatever, right?
The Seaport murders.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So you said artificial island, and my brain flashed. My brain showed me the entire Pat Labor movie, and that's where I was at. And now I'm back in to talk about this murder.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good movie.
Port Labor.
I will say, if you've never Googled Portopia 81, you should, because it has a really, really cool poster for the event.
Holy
Holy shit.
That's one of the coolest posters I've ever seen.
Hey, listeners, just whatever you're doing, I know if you're at work that might be hard, but like, just Google Portopia 81. This shit looks sick as fuck.
I'll try to put it in the show notes if I can.
Yeah.
Who would stop you,
everyone
Portopia?
say thank you, Ben.
Yeah,
Thank you,
so
Ben.
that's where that came from. And I guess the last bit of preamble I have here, I know I've done a lot for this one, but this is kind of more of like a history book episode, is that the way we played this, just full disclosure, is we all played Portopia together, or perhaps more properly, I played Portopia and I streamed it to the whole crew, and we kind of all went through it together.
How's that not a valid way of playing video games?
There was no way that we were going to be able to do this shit. Like literally, we were watching Ben play this, and we were like, yeah, we wouldn't have been able to do this by ourselves. I would not have figured this out.
I think the thing about it in particular is that, like, I feel like a lot of the decisions in order to solve a lot of the puzzles can only be made when you fucking try everything. And that
classic adventure game.
Yeah, like, literally half that shit could only have been done if you have exhausted literally every other option. I feel like the only way to solve the murder is to exhaust literally every option.
Yeah, you do kind of have to, you kind of have to get to your wit's end and then go, who else in this game who else in this list of characters have I not really thought of as a potential suspect yet? And then once you do, there's only one possible answer left.
Well, we don't even know who's the suspect for what murder, Ben.
Yeah, should I get into the summary?
I think it's time.
Yeah. Okay, so you play Portopia from a first-person perspective as an unnamed detective solving the murder of a loan shark named Kozo Yamakawa. At your side is your trusty assistant, Yasuhiko Mano, or simply called Yasu.
Mm-hmm.
The unscrupulous Kozo has died inside a locked room in his mansion, discovered after his security guard, Rokuro Komiya, and personal assistant, Fumie Sawaki, break the door down. From there, you begin to learn about Kozo's drug-dealing nephew, Toshi, who's hitting on high school girls. You do a little police brutality, meet Harada, a divorced dad in debt to Kozo, who eventually commits suicide, and also speak to the most helpful character in the game, a stripper named Okoi.
Yay!
After investigating several leads, you and Yasu learn two things. One, that Fumie had a brother with a butterfly-shaped birthmark. and that the siblings' parents committed suicide over debts they owed to Kozo. Shocked by this, they delve into a strange maze in the basement of Kozo's mansion and find his diary. In it, he admits to feeling guilty about her parents' death, and the primary reason that he brought her in as his assistant was to ensure that she had a job and could eventually inherit some money from him. Yasu reads this aloud and says, "Damn, I bet if the killer read this, they'd feel conflicted about killing Kozo."
Mm-hmm.
Escaping the maze, you and Yasu return to the police station. There, after everything else is uncovered, you're still left with no culprit. However, you can ask Yasu to remove his shirt. After asking him 3 times in succession, he'll finally acquiesce and show that yes, he has a butterfly-shaped birthmark. He admits to the crime, and he and Fumie reunite. Cut to credits, game over, right away.
So
we were like blinking in the sunlight after this one. We were like, what?
it was a strange game. I gotta say, I mean, it obviously makes sense, right? This is like the fucking predecessor to a point-and-click adventure games. This is the caveman, the missing link.
This is the origin. This is like the base version. Like
this is the guy climbing out of the primordial pool, like fucking.
Yeah, before this, Yuji Horii had like experienced, to my knowledge, some like text adventure games that were popular in the US, and he had kind of fumbled his way around and looked at some of these and said, I want to do something like this, but I want it more advanced. He really wanted, because again, the original game had a text parser, so you were typing in, telling Yasu, pick up this, investigate this, or beat this person up in the police interrogation room.
Yeah, he keeps bonking people with a hammer.
What? It's not bonking. That's police brutality. We do several investigations by hitting a guy over the head until they tell us what we want. That was evil.
Don't we make Yasu do the beating until the end?
Yeah, you have to do it. You have to police brutality.
Kill us, man.
You have to police brutality. I am reminded of the fact that the worst thing a video game has ever... I've ever seen a video game... Let me start this sentence over from the top. The worst thing I've ever seen a video game do to the player was an Omicron the Nomad Soul.
Oh my god. I feel like Tiago and I haven't talked about Omicron the Nomad Soul enough on this podcast.
We don't really talk about that often.
It affected us as people.
I mean, we both saw the Super Best Friends Let's Play.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But the
They're
point being
alive,
is that, like,
just,
they broke up. It forces the player to do something so evil for so little reward. So, like, now
but
whenever
also you have to.
You have to do
something unspeakably evil, something that's objectively horrid that you do not want to do because you know how awful it is. It is your only choice. You have no other options as the player to do this action. There's one way forward, and it is this.
So, like, in this video game, in Portopia, we have to beat the victim over the head with a hammer. Now, should I have expected to do this knowing as soon as I slipped into the role of a cop? Probably. But, like...
True.
It doesn't make you feel good, you know?
No. Whereas, again, in Omicron the Nomad Soul, they're like, you're the hero... You're gonna solve it. You're gonna save us from
evil.
Whatever it is that you're gonna save us from. I've got to be honest, it gets a little blurry.
It's probably evil.
You know?
Yeah.
And you just run around doing like horrible actions.
Just creating a fucking tidal wave of corpses around you.
Yeah. Whereas this, it's like, oh yeah, we're the police. We're doing police brutality. You know.
This has literally. I mean, it does literally try to play it off as like a cartoony thing, but it's just like a fucking. I don't like it. But
the reason that you think it might be cartoony, if I have to guess here, is because when you select the hit option, it does make a little tiny hammer icon pop up, and then you have to move that hammer icon over the person in the interrogation room and select the person with the hammer. And then you get like a sound effect and then text that pops up of the character going like, ow, Okay, fine, I'll talk, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem like you're hitting them with like
that's
a
an
little
abstraction of the
hammer.
game, like in it, like
squeaky toy hammer.
Because because I think that hammer is literally the only thing that like gives you that slight bit of distance. Otherwise, no, the characters are beating them up. They're hitting them with their fists. This is like what's literally happening in the game. But yes, you have that slight bit of abstraction with the hammer popping up, which is just kind of funny. And I don't know, to be 100% clear, I don't know I think that's only an invention of the NES version.
Really?
Or Famicom version. Yeah.
So the beating the witnesses.
Otherwise, you would have had to type it in the text parser. I think. In the original.
Witness.
Beat witness
or something like that. Again, don't hold me to that. Again, if anybody in the comments knows better, but I could not find 100% confirmation that one way or the other in the many reviews and deep dives into it that I read. Nobody covered that element specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's the game deals with a lot of like surprisingly mature topics that you wouldn't expect necessarily a game of this era to deal with. Like there's multiple characters that commit suicide in this. There is, you're dealing with sex workers. There's people, the loan shark, the guy who's killed in the first place, has huge amounts of loan and is extorting people over them. The one nephew is hitting on high school girls, and he's clearly not a high schooler as well. They're dealing drugs,
There is a little bit of...
Oh, no!
And they immediately get him arrested the second they're like, okay, now you come with me. He's like, wait.
It's kind of interesting that, like, the game itself, because of how, like, abstracted it is, like, of how little it looks like reality, we do, like, look at it and go, oh, it's very cartoony, and then all these very serious topics that are almost incongruous with the way that the game is presented to us, which is very nice pixels, just very nice little pixels.
Oh yeah, the look really does, again, like, take me back to, like, a King's Quest kind of. Again, after
there was a color palette of like,
I don't know the history of video games at all. I love King's Quest.
There's like a color palette of like 8 colors.
Yeah.
It just looks good, like the pixels, they're chunky.
Yeah, I mean, and it again, since this was in the time of home PCs, these early home PCs, every version, like every port had to look slightly different because the graphics capabilities of each of these machines were slightly different, right? So like the original had even simpler colors and simpler illustrations than the Famicom version then as well.
Wow.
Right? So I just posted some images here for y'all to look at as well. So you can kind of see what changed just between the two versions here.
We got spoiled with the Famicom.
And there's also another big difference in between the original version and the Famicom version. The Famicom version, again, I'm pretty sure it has the maze for the first time. The other versions do not have the maze. The Famicom version got the maze as an addition to the plot.
Oh, that maze was nightmarish. I was afraid.
and that is generally considered like, yes, impossible unless you're using a guide. It's not actually impossible, but it's just very, very difficult without a guide.
I would not.
It's not a good maze.
You could not see the fucking face I made.
It was a bad maze.
And I mean, so I'm not. I believe you get I believe you get some other context instead that will point you towards Yasu instead of the diary, or perhaps the diary is just delivered in a different way. But instead, in the Famicom version, you go down into the maze, and that is where you find that diary that I mentioned in the summary, and that eventually, and you lead your way out of the maze. But the maze is, to be clear, the rest of this game is in a first-person perspective where you're perfectly stationary and you're using a menu to tell Yasu to do things in the world. He's your method of interaction. It's as if you're the investigator standing stationary, and then you're pointing around and going, Yasu, grab that, go over here and pick up this, and you know, so he's always your eyes, or not your eyes, he's always your hands in the world, excuse me. But once you get to that maze, then you are then pressing like up, down, left, right to move forward, and then rotate your camera to the left or to the right, you know, as you're walking through this maze to navigate it. And then there's like goofy little graffiti in jokes, you know, from the developers on the walls in the maze here and that sort of thing.
We never found the Minotaur.
We never found the Minotaur in the maze.
There's a Minotaur?
There's not.
There's a Minotaur, Rose.
I got real excited for a second there.
No, we dodged the Minotaur.
Okay,
I was just that good. Yeah.
We had to.
The Minotaur that kills you.
No, this is the Minotaur that heals you. This is the Minotaur who tells you who the killer is.
The Minotaur who gets you through the fucking maze that's impossible to get through unless you have a guide.
I think you need string for that.
Minotaur who spoils you on a movie.
Okay, now we're getting a little too specific.
I just, hey, no, I don't know how to land this bit.
Okay.
All right, let's carry on.
Yep.
Would you, some other cultural context then for the time, since this game had such a big impact in Japan, this twist at the end, right, of Yasu, your assistant, who's been with you the whole game and been interacting with you the whole time, being the murderer,
the killer.
That reveal was a punchline in the same way that, like, in the West here we would say, you know, Vader is Luke's father or Snape killed Dumbledore kind of thing.
Oh my god, right? You're the fucking Minotaur.
Yeah.
You're the Minotaur.
Hanin wa Yasu. Yasu is the culprit was like the phrase, and you would, you know, people would yell that out or post it, you know, online and that kind of thing as like that sort of like repeatable punchline or meme, you know, that just got shared around a bunch. So guess what? People's is the same everywhere. we
nothing
you know,
has changed ever.
Yeah, that happens. That happens everywhere. I think there's even though like it is at the like we kind of said, it's like him being the killer is kind of like you have to like whittle it down till he's the only person that you can interact with anymore. You've you know, gotten rid of all the other suspects.
This is the only named character
that you can interact with at all anymore. Yeah. But I do think there is something fun, and I think part of the reasons why it's stuck probably is because he is like your vector through which you interact with the world, right? So it feels a little bit like the game itself betraying you because he is, you know, the way that you know, pick up evidence, and he's the one who beats people, and of course,
yeah, so you kill this man.
It also is really funny then that all the moments of humor and comedy with Yasu earlier in the game, because all those earlier come back and are recontextualized, because he earlier in the game says things like, well, I don't know, I couldn't find anything else out about this, right? And he'll be like, sorry, there's nothing here, boss. Or he'll be like, well, this person committed suicide, so obviously he must have felt guilty about doing the murder, and that's why he committed suicide. So, case closed, right, boss?
He's always saying that.
You know, and he's constantly telling you, like, just wrap it up, give it up,
at least
boss.
Like 3 times.
Yeah, he does that 2 or 3 times for sure in the game. And so, like, that at the time is like, oh, Yasu, you silly, naive, you know, police officer. You like, I'm the real, you know, detective around here. Come on, we got to actually find the real culprit. But it's given a different tone later, you know, when once that reveal happens, and you're like, oh, actually, he was just trying to throw you off the scent the whole time, in a way. So I do think that there's, you know, there's something there that for why it's been so sticky, you know, and kind of stayed in Japanese culture, been so memorable and was so influential to so many people. I think that's part of it there too.
I wonder if they also have like memes that wax and wane. Like obviously, like Because I'm thinking about how like culturally significant the phrase like Snape kills Dumbledore was, like to the point to where like there was websites named after it. Do you think there was websites that be like, oh yeah, Yasu's the culprit?
Yeah, I mean there was
I believe
there was
the same.
Yeah, I think there was a visual novel or another game that was called Hanan wa Yasu.
That's really funny.
Yasu is the culprit. So like literally somebody named their game Yasu is the culprit, or something like that. And I've come across that like once I Googled it and started doing some research on this, and I realized, oh, I've seen the exact wording Hanan wa Yasu before in my travels on the internet, right? And I just never understood the context until after we like played through it and I was doing all my research, and I was like, oh, I've seen people with that username before, online, right?
Sometimes the internet is a fun and beautiful place.
So that was kind of interesting to like retroactively get that context for some of those things. Portopia has been remade several times in Japan. Got like a mobile phone version and that kind of stuff. In 2023, Square Enix decided to try to remake it again.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this time they decided to remake it in a bad way. In that they thought, well, the original game had a text parser in it, and Yuji Horii dreamt of one day an in-game AI that could understand anything that you asked it. So what if we put a large language model that connected to the internet in this game? So it's like ChatGPT, and you can just talk to the game, and any of the characters will be able to respond.
Boo.
And it was a disaster. It did not work well at all, and it was widely regarded as messy, and like not only like were some people upset with the like AI LLM
model part,
specifically the large language model part of it. People were not happy about that. But also it just did not work the way they claimed it was going to work, right? You could not always get the characters to understand what you were asking them.
Yes,
and
because that's not how large language models work, everybody.
Right. So they tried to patch it. They tried to do some work to it to try to change it. But if you look it up on Steam, you can pull up this game and try it out in English on Steam, but it's got overwhelmingly negative reviews on Steam right now because nobody liked that.
I recall seeing a tweet somewhere about how generative AI came out during the worst time in history possible, in the conflux of like, in the terms of like how it's used environmentally, ethically, everything. And I'm just like, damn, it got Portopia.
The answer is poorly for all of those.
It got Portopia.
It got Portopia. What a bummer. That shit sucks. I feel like I can just, if you're into that shit, just I don't need your views. Bye.
Are we like putting a hard line in the sand here? Be like, yeah, fuck AI.
You can be fans of other people, but you're not my fan.
Oh.
That's what I have to say.
It's just, I think we've said in the past that we are not fans of specifically large language models, especially generative AI.
Correct.
But yeah, it's
I feel like that would surprise literally nobody.
Right. If you know us, you probably we're artists, we're creatives,
we prison abolitionist
and yes, we're leftists. So yeah,
like Ace Attorney podcast feels about AI. The answer is not good.
That's crazy.
And I'm not like necessarily like a type of person who's like Portopia is unimpeachable, like. But it is sad to like see Square Enix try to handle it that way and shoehorn this LLM stuff into,
and it didn't work.
Yeah, and it just didn't work. So that was kind of sad to see that. But thankfully, the original game, like I said, we played a fan translation. I guess I should actually specify this fan translation was done by a group called DVD Translations.
Thank you.
Which is it's a group of people. The usernames of the people who worked on this were DVD, who founded the group, Harmony 7, Shiroi, and Kid, and that's Kid with a 1 for the I.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
So those are the folks who worked on this in various capacities, art, code, translation, they all contributed in different ways. But that's the group of people who translated this. And they did some work like many years back where the first version came out, and then they did an updated version just a handful of years ago. And that was the version that we played here. And it's pretty good. It's a pretty good translation. It's easy to understand the game itself. Any issues with like parsing it are not a fault of the translation, I would say. It is pretty much all.
We did okay. We had a guide, but we did all right.
Yeah.
We did great.
Obviously I kept a guide around especially for the
maze.
For the maze. But yeah. So like, this is like the adventure game, Japanese adventure game. It obviously influenced a lot of people. The reason we're playing it is because, hey, without this, other adventure games like Famicom Detective Club and Famicom Detective Club and Ace Attorney, all those games were building all off of all this, because Ace Attorney is Ace Attorney is often called a visual novel, but Ace Attorney has way more in common as an adventure game with stuff like this.
Yeah.
We've probably had this conversation once, but we've done almost 100 episodes now, so I might as well mention it again. Japanese adventure games.
Still haven't hit 100.
Japanese adventure games and visual novels sometimes get conflated, because they have slightly similar perspectives. You're usually seeing like the first person perspective or the PNGs, the images of the characters next to each other, talking with the text box at the bottom. That kind of structure of game UI is very similar between the two of them, but adventure games usually have way more like interaction, talking with the world. Visual novels, pretty much just you are reading the text and occasionally making some dialogue selections.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, your primary interaction is making the choices as opposed to taking a little magnifying glass and getting the fucking...
And poking around the world, yeah.
And getting Yasuo to hit people with a hammer.
And, yeah. Well, not your little squeaky toy hammer.
You gotta hit people with a hammer.
Tiago lent me a squeaky toy hammer at a certain point in time, and I tell you what, I had a blast with that shit. I get what he's... I understand. It was very fun.
I think if you're out there stressed in the world, get a squeaky toy hammer.
It's so loud. It's so loud. I scared myself all the time. It was so much fun.
I mean, we absolutely fucking hit that shit, but it was great.
We sure did.
I don't know why, but somehow the idea of Tiago giving you, Rose, a squeaky toy hammer feels predestined to me, right? It just feels like in any time, in any timeline, in any dimension, somehow that had
Excalibur
to happen.
Being handed to the rightful king.
I feel like
Rose, in another timeline, I would have absolutely given you a squeaky toy hammer.
Thank you. That makes me so happy. I think now we have enough space that I can definitively say that yes, I was the Amy Rose at Anime Boston 2024 with the squeaky toy hammer. If you saw me, that was me.
There you go.
It's been so long now that it's too late. You may never see me again.
It's been like 5 months. It's
I was squeaking it up. It's too late. You'll never see me again.
I was squeaking it up.
Squeaking it up.
I love the phrase, I was squeaking it up.
I don't know how else to describe how I was doing.
That's pretty good.
It's been a crazy day.
Mice when they have a party.
Mice when they... squeaking it up, dude.
There's cheese there too. I gotta get to the mouse party.
Dude, we're squeaking tonight.
And, going to a mouse party and eating inside a little hole in the wall and having some cheese with some mice and some tea
on my little bed made of a matchbox.
Yes.
A dining room table that's made out of like a cassette.
Yes.
Yes, and I put a thimble on my head.
Yes.
Yeah, and then yes.
I have a cool idea for an Ace Attorney, the borrower's game.
Dude, imagine a borrower as your lawyer. Be like, hey man, so how do I pay you? And he goes, I don't know, man. What's in your cupboard? Trust me, I've already got my payment.
Well, here's the thing. Funnily speaking about Ace Attorney and mice, do you know that Ryunosuke Naruhodo's canon persona is a mouse?
Yes, I did know that for some reason. I saw it in a lot of fan art.
Huh. I did not know that.
I'll post the art right down in the chat so you guys can see it. Now I have another thing that I need to add to the show notes. I have seen this.
You're adding a lot of
JPEGs
fucking
in the show notes.
Yeah.
Extensive show notes this time around. But yes, they would occasionally draw the characters as animals for some of the promo art for Great Ace Attorney, and Ryunosuke Naruhodo was always a little mouse, and Susato was a bunny.
And
actually, so was Sholmes. He was also a bunny.
Asogi is a cat
because he has the little charm, right?
Yeah.
In the game, and I think
there's a third man in this image.
Oh yeah, sure, yes.
Asogi is a cat.
Asogi is a cat. Yes.
Is it a cat? I thought it was a dog.
His name is Nyasogi.
My fault. My fault.
Persecutes you.
No, you got it. I fold. Fucking good point. I didn't understand how the names lined up. You know what I mean? Like I didn't understand it. That's why I was like, I don't know who's Nyasogi. I thought the rabbit was Nyasogi, but now I know it's not.
Usato for.
No, I got it. I get it.
We gotta post this image in the show notes.
The mice and matchboxes image?
No, the one that we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. the one with the little persona. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll make sure that's.
Yeah, I'm not gonna endorse the mice and matchboxes because they're not sponsoring us.
Oh, okay. That's really.
Yeah, we got to see some money first before we start linking them left and right.
Yeah, I need some money from Melee before. Hey, bleep that.
Hey, bleep that brand. No brands.
Oh, man.
Sorry, Ben.
Sorry, Ben. Sorry.
I'm not bleeping that. It's fine.
Okay, well, I do think they're very nice stuffed animals. They did pay for this.
Yeah,
I mean that's kind of Portopia. It is a relatively short if you're following a guide, right? If you're messing around and poking every corner, you can spend more time there for sure. But it's
short
more
and
just
sweet.
like it's more just like a fascinating piece of history that I thought was important.
It probably
to at least...
took up someone's entire hard drive back then.
Well, yeah, that this thing was packed in on that cartridge, right? You know, that they sold.
For sure.
It was only a couple kilobytes, but it was packed.
Much in the same way, like those early games. Like I know we keep talking about King's Quest, but it was very influential. Like if you follow a guide, you can just do it. You know, like you can walk there, pick that up, give this to the witch, do whatever. But if you don't have a guide, you are spending hours just fucking around. And you can just straight up fail that shit. You can miss an item and just be like, get to the end of the game and be like, I can't finish.
Yeah, there is.
Terrible.
There is no save file in the game, so like if you have to restart your fucking console, you just turn that shit off, which is crazy.
That's how I played Spyro on my PlayStation.
That's how I played Rayman 2.
Yeah, and like in this, like you've got to investigate like things to reach certain conclusions, but like it's not like you didn't get this item at the beginning of the game, so like you're fucked. Like it does not have that, thankfully. Like,
there's nothing that you can miss out on.
Yeah, either you progress or you don't.
But yes, you do have to do certain things in order. You know, to progress.
You get
through
Sort
the
of
game.
similar to Ace
fucking
Attorney.
screwed.
Yeah.
Bro, you
Where
either
you
progress
have
or
to
you
talk
die.
to this fucking person in the first room, or the dialogue option won't proc in the final segment, but you can always go back and talk to that person,
Always?
however annoying it is.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, there's no like fail state in the game either. If you accuse the wrong person of the murder, the chief of police just yells at you on the phone and then says,
Classic.
"Get back and find the real killer."
I mean, I appreciate the fact that this game doesn't have a sense of like a fail state like that, because I feel like, imagine you're playing like a mystery game and you assume who the killer is. You type it in, and then it just fucking goes incorrect, game over, and you have to restart your fucking investigation again. That would drive me up the fucking wall.
Right. I mean, it is funny. DVD translations, they did translate the instruction booklet for the game, they did a very nice job with this. So when you go to their website and pull down the fan translation to patch your ROM with it, they also provide like a little translation of the booklet with it, and you can read that, and it's so funny to read the tips from the developers, basically saying like, if you can't figure this out, think very carefully and go back through all your evidence. You didn't think about it very carefully. If you don't know, you gotta think harder. And if you need to turn the game off, I'm very sorry, but you will need to play all the way over from the start of the game, and you'll need to follow all the steps again. But the good news is, since you've done it before, you can do it again faster. It's like, okay, man, thanks. I mean, yeah, I guess that's true.
I've got to be honest, did not really get that from the evidence. Was just sort of winging it.
So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I wanted to at least cover this, so we kind of had that feather in our cap, so that we said, okay, we've covered one of the texts, of these types of games. We have Portopia knowledge now. We are now filled in on that, and I figured that would be useful for future coverage. Did anybody else have any other last thoughts here, kind of about Portopia? I know this was kind of a mini history lesson as well as talking about the game, but
if I ever
that's kind of what playing it felt like, was also like a mini history lesson. So I think that suits it just fine.
If I ever see police brutality, I'm gonna say that's a Portopia reference. I said that joke and then went, God.
I gave you a courtesy laugh though, so it's all right.
Honestly, take it back.
Okay.
Bleep it out.
Yeah, honestly, bleep the joke too.
Just bleep the whole episode.
You can't keep telling me to bleep stuff.
Ben,
I'm gonna start making you guys pay him $1 every time you ask him to censor something.
Bold, we will start Venmoing him.
We will. Yeah, you know that I have his Venmo.
And
I know, and guess who also has control of his money?
And then what happens is I start baiting you into saying brand names and things that you would want me to bleep out, so that I can start a little extortion.
You're going to get an invoice after every podcast edit.
Guy, let's play a little game. Let's play a game.
I don't know if we have that much money.
I say the first number of my social security card, then you say the first number of your social security, Ben, and then we just go back and forth until we finish it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Woo, fun game.
Fun game.
Is that the end of the podcast?
Yeah. I think that'll do it for us. Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
For us.
We were talking about revealing our social security numbers. I think in good conscience I have to end this.
It's fine. So, all right. Well, yes.
Holy shit.
That will do it for us this week, folks. I did want to I don't have any new Apple reviews for us this week, but I did actually want to pull out a nice comment that we got on our YouTube channel from somebody. This is from Saf the Staff 3468. And they said, since I can't install Apple Podcasts on my phone and can't leave a written review on Spotify, I wanted to leave my thoughts on the podcast here. This has quickly become one of, if not my favorite podcast to listen to. I joined around the time of Dual Destinies coverage and have been listening ever since. This is one of the few podcasts that I just binge listen to in a few days, and once I'm done, I start from the beginning again.
Ooh.
I will admit I was a bit skeptical on how much I had enjoyed these episodes about the inspirations of Ace Attorney, but I've been thoroughly surprised, and they've quickly become some of my favorite episodes. Crossing my fingers, though, that a new game comes out because, come on, Capcom, it's been almost like 8 years since the last release.
Oh,
I hope
brother.
I hope you have a continued great time on this podcast, and I am looking forward to episode 100 and beyond. Signed, Saf.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Oh
much
my
for
gosh,
that wonderful comment.
That's such
I
a
really
nice
appreciate
note.
you writing that.
As
Thank
somebody
you.
who
That's
so
binge
sweet.
listens to other podcasts, how dare you?
We all do it.
It's okay. I appreciate it. You're juicing our numbers, so it all
God
works
bless.
out.
Yay.
Thanks for the algorithm.
All right, new game,
Yep, thanks
please.
for that.
For
I'll
South.
go boost. Yeah. So yes, you can also leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. They both have written reviews now. So any of those will give us a little boost in the rankings and help more people see us. So we greatly appreciate it when you do that. And if you write a nice 5-star review, we might read it on the air like we just did. You can keep up with the show via our website, updatedautopsy.report, which has links to everything we do and all of our social media accounts. And we also, of course, have our YouTube channel, which I just pulled from, which has Let's Plays and other fun videos at youtube.com/@Yotseben. You can follow me on all social media at Yotseben. Dessy, where can people find you?
Blue Sky, I'm Dessy. On Blue Sky, just Dessy.
And Tiago.
You can find me at It's Tiago Time on Blue Sky. I'm currently going through Lumios, catching all those Pokemon. I'm also in Last Defense Academy, having my defensive battles initiate. Up and at 'em, troops. We're out here. Hey, it's gonna be okay.
All right. I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
And Rose.
I'm Rose. You can find me at Rose Nonsense on Blue Sky still until something else comes up. God, I don't fucking know. I'm there. Find my shit. Yeah. I'm having a day,
Sounds
buddy.
great.
You can find me having a fucking day. On the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be better soon. That's it. I've got nothing. I don't have anything funny to say. Wrap up the podcast.
Holy shit,
right.
dude.
Well, hey,
Listen, I had a rough day at work.
No, I know that you did.
Tiago knows.
one day we're
I don't think I
one
can
day,
say
Rose-
a lot about it. It was one of those days where it's like, I don't think I can talk about this in public.
No, you can't.
one day, Rose, I'm going to make a supercut of every single time you said I've had a rough day at work on this podcast. And unfortunately, it might be a larger number than you'd like to hear.
I listen, if other customer service people, look at me. You know what it's like. These people are animals.
These people are animals.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Again, like I said, we'll rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Next time, we are doing a bonus episode, something really different. We've never done this before, so get ready.
Oh, shit.
We are going to be...
What are we doing?
We are going to be interviewing Joey from Harmonic, the developer behind Detective Instinct Farewell, My Beloved.
Hell yeah.
This is an upcoming adventure game that is inspired by games like Famicom Detective Club, Hotel Dusk, and Ace Attorney.
Hell yeah.
And I've been keeping my eye on it for a while because it looks very interesting, and I enjoyed the demo quite a bit. So when I found out that it's coming out November here, I was like, hey, would you like to come on and talk about your inspirations behind this game on the show? And they said, yeah. So we're going to have Joey from Harmonic on the show and talk to them about Detective Instinct Farewell, My Beloved.
Hell
so
yeah.
get ready for that. We'll see you next time.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll see you next time when we talk to them. Thanks everybody for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.